In professional wrestling, few names carried the same quiet presence as Miss Elizabeth. Miss Elizabeth became a defining figure in the 1980s during one of wrestling's most iconic storylines, alongside Macho Man Randy Savage. At a time when pro wrestling was loud, chaotic, and larger than life, she represented something different. Calm, composed, almost untouchable in the way she stood between emotion and conflict. Her on-screen story with Randy Savage helped shape an entire era, the Mega Power storyline. Her presence ringside and the eventual collapse of that alliance became one of wrestling's most memorable narratives. Fans connected to it not just because of the action, but because of the emotional weight surrounding it. For many viewers, Elizabeth was not just part of the show, she was the center of it. But as the years went on, the line between character and reality began to fade in the public eye. After her time in the spotlight, Elizabeth's personal life became more private and eventually more complicated. She later married Lex Luger, another major figure in professional wrestling who is also navigating his own struggles outside of the ring. Together, they became part of a world that was far removed from the bright lights and carefully controlled storylines that the fans remembered. By the early 2000s, both were dealing with significant personal challenges. And on May 1st, 2003, police were called to their home in Georgia following an incident. Elizabeth was found unresponsive and later pronounced dead at the scene. The official cause was determined to be acute toxicity involving alcohol and prescription medication. The news spread quickly throughout the wrestling world, where her name still carried the weight of everything she once represented. She was still so beloved. What made her passing particularly difficult for many fans was the contrast. The composed, elegant figure from television, tied so closely to one of wrestling's most emotional storylines. Now gone, under circumstances that felt quiet and abrupt. In the years that followed, we lost Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan, everyone involved in that storyline, adding another layer of sadness to a story that had once been defined by connection, loyalty, and the conflict inside the ring. For many pro wrestling fans, Miss Elizabeth remains unforgettable, not because of how quietly her story ended, but for how loud she was in pro wrestling.
Like and subscribe.